this.
Launch, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's all that impressive.
I've seen parts of it, and oh my god, dude, it is.
But transition to a gacha-less model afterwards. With the incentives that it's a game that respects your time and no fear of missing out in its mechanics.
Honestly, not having the FOMO on DNA is amazing. You can play in your own time.
Hi. My name is Psyche, and I'll be breaking down each of DNA's features and let you know what I think if it's good or bad for the future of gacha games. However, despite all of what was promised, the thing I think DNA will struggle with the most is something more ingrained in its design.
Hold on, let me change the category.
Related to the monetization or farming mechanics. So today I have a lot to say about this potential future giant indie gacha gaming space. Let's get right down to it.
Okay, he has a lot to say.
I would like to address. Duet Night Abyss is certainly taking gacha game graphics to the next level since it's developed on Unreal Engine.
It starts with my first problem. He still treats it as a gacha game. Why does he compare it to gacha games? Hold on.
Certainly taking gacha game graphics to the next.
Gacha game graphics, like, I feel like you should not. Can you stop calling it a gacha game, bro? His title literally says no gacha. Same problems.
Since it's developed on Unreal Engine, you can expect performance.
And yes, it is developed on Unreal Engine.
Teetering on what mobile phones can handle. I will not be commenting on the performance for the remainder of the review, but to my knowledge, it suffers from occasional performance issues.
Okay, to be fair, in the first week, it was so unplayable. But right now, at its current state, like, well, what is it? Like 2 weeks later? Like 3 weeks later, they cooked quick. They improved a lot. They actually improved a lot.
On PCs at the moment, and I shudder to think what those playing on a phone will be like. Now, I don't. Duet Night Abyss is developed by Pan Studio and published by Hero Games, which to my understanding are relatively small in scale, and this game must have taken a pretty big.
But actually, DNA is actually cooking. I haven't having so much fun playing it.
Campaign of over 2 years, the game is finally out. What was supposed
2 years is fine. We've had games take a lot more. I mean, these days you'd announce a game like 4 to 5 years before release. I feel like
has changed to something we've never seen before. I guess we'll start with an overview of the game.
I can't comment on the story. I just skipped absolutely everything.
As for the gameplay, you can only on-field one character at a time, but I suppose the game was trying to go for a more co-op approach in the late game with different roles like support.
Do you know why? I'll give you a hint. It's because the current inspiration is not gacha, it's Warframe. I'm just saying.
You can equip one melee and ranged weapon, all with their different variations. Worth mentioning that every character can use every weapon, though the element the weapon attacks are infused with will still match the character's element. When you use left click, you swing the weapon, and holding right click fires the gun.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of moves and combos you can do, like attacks right after a slide, when slamming down, when holding, or pressing attack repeat.
They need to work on the slide.
The attacks or slide to initiate a helix leap, though I struggle to see why you would ever use the slide by itself. You have a
Here's the problem. We don't have enough wedges. So just in general, in my opinion, the weapons feel a little bit off. They need more wedges. They need to cook over time when they release more like wedges, which are equivalent to the artifacts. Imagine like you build your characters with artifacts. They just need more, and then it'll get a lot better.
Shield meter above your health.
I'll give Anata and NT a try once they release, 100%. I'm also gonna try Enfield.
Health and an energy gauge to use your skill or alt attack. I found most of the content in the game to be pretty easy. As long as you level everyone to an acceptable range, you can just spam left click to get through it. There's some
Bro, I can't do any damage with weapons. What's his level? He's level 40, brother. Bro's not finished the story. I'm not even gonna lie. Bro's actually not finished the story. Could you ever played Warframe before? I have over I have like 2,300 hours on Warframe. I've played a lot of Warframe.
As long as you level everyone to an acceptable range, you can just spam left click to get through it. There's some miscellaneous activities you can do in the overworld, like fishing, shooting minigames, and catching Geninimon.
Honestly, I don't these Genie, like, you know, these minigames, so he's not saying it here, but this is the minigame from the waypoint. Each waypoint has a minigame. It's cool and I love them. They need to make them do more. It's one of my things. Like, it's a really cool addition, but please make it feel more value. Like, you get, like, you do it once and you get like tiny rewards. They're not worth it. You actually would you'd get more rewards doing one excavation with the time it takes you to like max this mini game. They need to make it like, just give something, you know, some sustenance.
Activity.
The waypoints have mini games. Yeah, the waypoints have mini games.
You can do in the overworld, like fishing.
But do you know what the game for you? Trent, if I already play a lot of DNA, and if you go to my YouTube, you'll see that I have a lot of DNA content already up.
Shooting mini games and catching Genimon. I didn't really get too deep into it, but some of the Genimon can have some unique effects, like picking up enemy drops.
So I actually saw a really good Reddit thread about this. So for those that haven't played Warframe, like the problem right now is we have with Boxy is too goated. Boxy is literally the equivalent of Carrier Prime. Until they released Cavatas, which were like these cats that do other more goated stuff with loot. Carrier Prime was the only thing you'd ever use. You would never change anything. Right now, most of the time, you're gonna use Boxy. The only reason you'd genuinely swap away from Boxy is healing. I don't see another reason you would swap away from Boxy. The healing and the sanity ones in combat are the only two other types of traits that the Genimons have, the Boxy doesn't. Because if Boxy had any of these, it would be the ultimate one. And right now, 99% of the people are probably using Boxy for actual commissions. Not for theater is the only time, or maybe Maze. Maze in theater are the only times you would not use Boxy.
A longer range. When you're not doing co-op, you can set 2 other AI companions to fight alongside you, but co-op content will take one of those AI slots away from every extra player. I should also mention that DNA is not marketed as an open world game, rather an RPG with open world elements.
Sure.
You can't really do a lot of crazy things out in the wild, though sometimes you'll come across hidden chests in minigames. Just don't count on exploration being a big part of your experience here. There's also the impression system where you have a list of 6 personality traits, and choosing certain dialogue will increase one. When you perform a check, you roll a dice, the higher that...
This feels a little bit forced, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why they've done this dice. I assume at one point it's gonna be more important. Right now it just seems like a gimmicky thing. I don't really get it. Hold on, let me pause this. Yeah, I don't know.
Stat.
I thought it was the same. Thought it was the same. Yeah, I just see me checking. I changed it.
All that much, and you can also just create the dice currency in the forging menu. It can be farmed here, such as XP for your characters or weapons, demon wedges as the relic system for set bonuses, ascension material, and wins to farm for new characters and weapons. You can do these alone or in co-op, and some will take longer than others. In theory, if you want to max out a character, you can just grind for hours and you'll be able to achieve just that. So, the lack of stamina is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, not really. Better boosters netting you up to 20 times the rewards. The problem is that you have to buy these with premium currency.
Sure, that's not a problem. That's whatever.
It's still better than having a stamina system since you can just farm whatever you want.
Yes.
You also have to come to terms that someone that's willing to pay a little extra,
and that's fine, bro. That's fine.
Even though you both put in the same amount of effort. Whether this bothers you is purely
actually, the other person put more effort because he actually spent money. Okay.
Objective.
It is what it is.
The stamina system also means that you don't get player XP from just completing commissions. You can check what activities give player XP.
What?
That you don't get player XP from just completing commissions.
What does he mean by that?
You can check what activities give player XP, but since the better commissions drop mats at a higher rate, you want to raise that level quick. Also, one extra kudos I gotta give is that the game lets you equip the same demon wedge on multiple characters or weapons. So, since you're gonna be like 20 of these per character, that's at least one less thing to worry about. I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the character.
I mean, that's the same as any game. It would be weird if they're... What are the 330 books for? It basically times 2. It times 2's your loot. So if you go in a mission and you activate the book, rather than getting like I don't know 100k coins, you're gonna get 200k coins.
Weapon system now. You have to get the secret letter currency, then buy the secret letter of the character.
Sure, yeah.
Then run the covert commission for the chance for the card to drop. I'm not going to explain all of it in detail again since I did it in the sponsor video. Anyways, 30 of it equals 1 copy of them. In short, I think the system is good, but not as good as you think. First, I'd like to point out that you can skip the grind with the premium currency. This will...
That's fine. Again, why do you care? That's the same as every... So, bro, why does that matter?
Cost you around $50 with some leftover.
You could, by the way, you could do this in Warframe as well. And in fact, I'm pretty sure from what I remember in Warframe, when a character is released, for a little bit, the only way to get it was to pay, I think. And then in a week you can get it. Or maybe it just takes about a week to grind it. I don't remember which one it was.
Assuming you have the first top-up bonus. Do I have a problem that you can skip the grind with real money? No. Not really.
Okay,
If you
that's
consider
fine.
that if you were to try using top-up packs to guarantee a 5-star in the conventional gacha game, you're likely gonna have to spend upwards of a couple $100.
Yes.
So $50 in that context, not so much anymore.
You actually, wait, we can see exactly how much it's gonna cost. Hold on. It takes you 475 up worse. Vary from $2. Okay, chat. Who spent $2 and actually got in the character? Okay, but it's 475 at worst. Okay, 475 at worst.
However, you also have to keep in mind that each character has 6 dupe levels, and they all requires 30 shards each. Because the shards are earnable in-game, this gives adepts and dedicated players room to make the dupe levels drastic increases to the character's strength, and defend that you can just grind it for free, so there's no problems here.
Yeah,
That may be true, except you have to factor in the amount of time you have to spend to do it.
That's
And
a grind
won't
game.
Everyone have that much time on their hands. This is of course not including all the other ways you can upgrade the character, and acquiring weapons also has a similar grinding system.
Okay,
I should
that's
also
fine.
mention that the rate in which you get the secret letter clues is limited. While you still can farm these at a slower rate by manually farming, it's just another process you have to go through to get what you want. The lack of a stamina system is honestly a double-edged sword.
No, it's
if you ask
not.
me. In a normal gacha game, you
It's not a
press one button to
gacha
spend your
game.
stamina to farm for all you can, then you're done for the day and you can
He literally said it at the beginning. They described themselves what, as an open world RPG or whatever? What? The title says no gacha. Why are you comparing it to gachas?
You do this every day or whenever you can. It's quick sessions of stimulus that expose you to just enough to form a habit and slow down your progression. From
Cool.
a player retention perspective, it works great and probably
Thanks
why
for
the
telling me
vast
how
majority
to
of
play
mobile games
gachas.
have them. It will continue to have them in the foreseeable future. On the other hand, when you do the exact same thing over and over again for 3 hours, you're going to experience burnout, even if you can fully complete the
Really? I'm gonna experience burnout, huh? Do you know what's burnout? Is me mint picking every single day for the past 3 years, okay? And it giving me nothing. Wow, burnout. There's like 10 different types of quests I can do, and there's a bunch of characters I can actually obtain within a day. Like, bro, just...
dupe levels in like 2 hours, that's still going to be a lot of time for some people. Plus, given that dupes are drastic power increases,
They will just take longer to farm.
Don't complete the farming for the dupes, the character feels incomplete.
No, it doesn't. It literally doesn't. You can burn out in any game. There's not a DNA specific issue. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what his point of burnout is. It's pointless. Also, yes, they do. Has he played the actual gacha games? Has he read the introns on the characters? What, you don't get, like, you get damage, you get some buffs, but you don't get anything like crazy. They don't feel incomplete. I've cleared most of the stuff without introns.
I imagine what will inevitably happen is that people will optimize the hell out of this game.
Yes.
Farming
Yes.
fastest teams to do mission types, fastest commission types to run. I tried to unlock a few characters, and I was able to unlock a copy of Sybil in like 30 minutes. Now, since the covert commissions refresh every...
Wasn't he just saying that it can take you like up to 3 hours or something, and like you experience burnout? He got it in 30 minutes. What? That's
this
lucky.
means you can wait until you see a mission type that's way shorter to complete. I think the best one out right now is the dismantle mission type.
Yeah, it is.
You can basically zoom across the
Yeah,
map
because
until
you don't
complete each
have
points in
a
less
extraction
than a
point.
minute. I found this to be extremely efficient in farming the shard, and even though part of it does come down to luck, this is what I would do.
Bro,
if I
standing
wanted
still,
to
by the
unlock
way.
a character fast. I couldn't care less about playing these levels. These are just the means to get what I want, and I want to get past this chore as fast as I can.
Okay, but okay. It straight up, it literally sounds like he just doesn't like the game. He thinks these little game modes are like a chore, brother. That is the game. It doesn't matter if you do. What do you mean? They're not chore. If you don't like these missions, you're not gonna like the game. Like what?
Circling back to the topic of player retention, for anything that requires a concentrated amount of brain usage,
It'll take
you're
you
gonna
months to get a character in
exhausted
Warframe?
mentally and
Yeah, I
physically.
mean,
Even though
unless
you
it's a
know that the game
prime.
is fun, you're also likely to mentally associate your exhaustion as a consequence of playing the game. If you take a look at numerous surveys, the average gaming session for a mobile user is around 5 minutes.
Okay.
You might argue, well, DNA is not a mobile game.
Yes.
Okay, well, did you know
Yeah.
that the platform distribution for players in Genshin Impact, which...
Can you? Hey, can you actually make something like? Can you please compare it to a game like it? Not a gacha game. Can I somehow actually see the platform distribution for Warframe? I actually want to Google this. Hold on, let me see if I can find this.
Many would agree to be the benchmark of the gacha industry. About 65% of players are on mobile. A large portion of the player base for these games are on their phones. You can see how we might be running into a problem here. Mobile games are designed for quick bursts of playtime during your breaks or lunch. It was never meant to be played for prolonged periods. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I genuinely think they shot themselves in the foot. Look at the first comment. The first comment. Thank you for Red Magic for sponsoring the review. Gacha games have done irreversible damage to man's reasoning. Actually, true. Like,
Now you may be wondering, alright, genius, if you think both having stamina or not having it are bad ideas, then what do you suggest? Oh, I got a suggestion, alright, but it's never going to be implemented. I propose that you just need to get rid of all the methods to upgrade a character. You don't need to farm materials to level or ascend them. You don't need to level or ascend weapons. Get rid of the demon
okay.
wedge system. Get rid of leveling skills. When you get a character...
Okay. Removing wedges? What's the point of the game at that point? What? You just have linear scaling. Everyone's literally going to be identical. What's the point? Do you want to remove artifacts from Genshin? Do you want to remove what do they call, like, echoes from Wuthering Waves? Like, what's going on?
You can passively level them from running stages, but that's it. When you get a weapon, you already have it at the strongest point it can be. Your skills can be passively leveled or unlocked as a flat version at the...
More DNA players have played Genshin than Warframe. Yeah, but what do you mean? Like, removing wedges makes zero sense, in my opinion. Like, it genuinely makes zero sense to remove wedges. I don't know. Does he think... What, does he even know you can upgrade wedges? Next time, I need to check the build if he's upgraded a single wedge. I genuinely feel like he thinks wedges do nothing because bro's not leveled a single wedge.
Doesn't change. No RNG gear...
Okay, he has leveled. He knows the level.
Gear system as well. You can switch between different skill sets, but you don't need to grind for this. I think the only way you can solve the stamina issue is to just remove what you are using it for. Obviously, for mobile games that incentivize daily logins, this absolutely cannot happen. So my suggestion will just forever be that. I would also like to comment on the gacha list system as well. Despite not having a stamina system, you'll still be barred by the rate you can acquire them. This system is great if you have a lot of time to game and find the grind to be addicting. I'm sure there will be a crowd for it. I overall think this system is fine, just not that much of an improvement over a traditional gacha system.
It's not gacha!
If you don't want to spend hours of your time on this though, the only alternative will be to pay up. But hey, a valid argument is that you won't have to risk random chances to save up for months just to not get what you want. If you put in the effort, you will get the character. However, there are people that think otherwise.
Okay, he literally said it took him 30 minutes to get a character. Chat, how... Napoleon, you had to farm for a character in both Fuwa and Genshin. Would you say just grinding overworld took you more than 30 minutes to get the character? Would you spend more than 30 worlds? Like, these require grind? Yeah, bro, exactly. Weeks? Yeah, exactly, weeks. Bro, imagine like, oh, do you know what? I'm really feeling Columbina. Let me just go grind for half an hour to get her. Yeah.
This is gonna sound insane, but gambling is really fun.
I mean, yes, it is,
sure. People out there that play gacha games precisely because of the thrill.
Yeah.
Think about how good it felt.
That's why I started. Yeah. That's fine.
The rest of the plebeians had to go to pity for the same thing.
Cool.
Now that certainly was a highlight. I'm one to think that the no gacha option is still better than having one, though I feel as if though DNA's approach...
Wait, I still think that the no gacha option is better than having... Okay.
May not be what some mobile gamers are looking for. So here's what I propose to be the true solution to the no gacha problem. You still have daily missions and events that give out the gacha tokens at a controlled rate. However, when you go into the gacha screen, instead of seeing the 1 or 10 pull option, you just see a single button. 10,000 gems to get this character. No gambling here. If you click the button, you will get it. There's no ambiguity or 50-50 rate up.
Bro, is he looking at his own video? Right this screen, right? Like this screen right here. Wasn't he saying that you can buy characters with a currency and that was a problem? Is bro not re-proposing the same thing?
chances. We retain the casual nature of gacha games while getting rid of the gambling aspect. If there's a gacha game willing to go this route, that'd be something I praise all day. Overall, I think DNA systems are fine. I think it does things differently enough that people.
I think
will
it is
give
fine.
it
You're
a fair
right.
shot. It's just
Some
not
might
what
say
I
great.
believe to be objective improvements over what gacha games have had in the past. Of course, that doesn't.
He called it a
exactly
gacha
mean
game again, by
is
the way.
taken out of the game for good. DNA is using a cosmetics-focused
Yes,
monetization approach. While
and
there are
that's-
many deals in the game,
And do you know what? Do you know what? I bought the battle pass just to get the cool looking dragon. It's not even that good. It looks cool.
full outfits, the upper echelon of the cosmetics goes to these gacha skins. I suspected something like this would happen, since the game still has to make some money somehow. This means they're gonna be a bit more stingy with the skins. As you can see, the rates are really not in your favor here, as
Are these bad favors? I mean, sure, I guess.
0.3% chance to land a premium cosmetic, and it's split into different rewards. Now, when a gacha
That's
gets
fine.
transferred to a skin gacha, then the value of it becomes a lot more subjective. After all, how much would
I mean, it's almost as if Genshin is not the craziest gacha game. Release an entire new game mode where it feels like the solo purpose is for you to obtain skins, but you have to pay crazy money for them.
you be willing to pay?
Like
for?
what?
Some people absolutely don't care about skins. Some people play games because of them. Since the characters
Okay,
are farmable, this
and then they'll play Infinity Nikki if they want to play on the skins.
gives room for the developers to be as stingy as they want with the skins, and you really can't argue against it. If they wanted to make some $60 skins
Nikki based. Oh my god, the first base thing I've seen her.
and some $200 skins, you know what I'm saying? Then they're kind of free to do so. You can bet that you won't be getting a lot of free pulls here. I would also like to point out that DNA is definitely not the first to have a skin gacha. There are numerous examples of older gachas that have had this approach.
Yeah, that's
It
fine.
just happens to be the first that's also a high budget release. Me personally,
Wait, what does that mean? The first that has, but he just showed Nikkei. Is Nikkei not considered high budget? Is Genshin a skin gacha now? Is Genshin not considered high budget?
but that's mainly because I don't really care about cosmetics most of the time. There will be people that really want these skins, so the skin gacha really isn't something I can make a good objective judgment on. People often argue about what is considered as pay to win. How since it's just cosmetics, there's absolutely no paying involved. However, if your win condition is to have the coolest looking skins, well in that case, DNA will be pay to win. For you, specifically. So we've talked about everything
my
unique DNA
God.
has to offer,
I
and
can't.
think the gacha suffers from one major issue, something that's way harder to fix and something more ingrained in its systems. The gameplay is just kinda boring. I mean, I understand.
I'm
that
gonna
there's all sorts of
lose
tricks and
my
maneuvers you
shit
can do.
if he says that he doesn't like the game. But I have never, it's never been more apparent to me watching a review that you don't like the game. Bro, DNA got, I am so annoyed that he had a sponsorship with them.
For the week I played this game, I just spammed left click and felt I was never challenged. I feel like there's no synergy between a character's kit and how you can express them. The different moves you can do just feel like different variations of the same attack. Because of how you can only on-field one character at a time, you can't do any elemental interactions or rotations with other characters in the party. I've also read in the reports on the movement not feeling as smooth, but I'm assuming this is fixable. What's something that you cannot change is the very nature of the gameplay. I thought maybe they would have done something different apart from the early beta launch, but now that the game is out, it almost makes me think that they've dedicated most of the resources to revamping the progression system.
They can make it smoother, that's for sure. They can make it a little bit smoother, but that's fine.
The gameplay is the beating heart of the game. I can put up with a stingier system if the gameplay is good, but if it's not fun, then even the most generous gacha system can't save you. Now, I normally don't comment on the nature of gameplay since it makes no sense for me to argue that a 3D brawler is better than tower defense. In this case though, in the context of an action brawler, I feel like DNA just doesn't have much for me to chew on. Now, maybe there's something I'm not getting, but during my time playing, I just wiped the floor on every stage just by spamming normal attacks on my ult ability. So I
I just need to point out that not only is he not one-shotting this boss is level 40, which I'm pretty sure is the absolute first boss you fight for her to get the materials.
didn't see a reason to learn enemy attacks or adapt a different strategy. In other action brawlers, you have different team members meant to play their roles, and it's satisfying to pull off a tight rotation or see how your team comes together.
I just don't understand his comparison games.
To do damage, and it's not exactly creative.
I feel like he just not played his style of game.
Know that I'm doing something wrong. As long as you can maintain your character and weapon levels and get some decent demon wedges, you won't be in any danger most of the time. My guess is that eventually, some of the endgame content will be harder and more centered around co-op teams with distinct roles during the fight, so you have more interactable elements with other players and how you all come together to contribute. I know some of the demon wedges change your playstyle quite drastically, with some even adjusting your movesets, though I never got too deep enough into the game to know if it truly matters that much. My own prediction is that the game will do well enough to garner and maintain a player base. I don't think it's going to reach the upper echelon of gacha gaming revenues, and I predict that not a
he's still comparing it to gacha games. Outsider, cool.
A lot of games will follow suit what DNA is.
He literally just wants Genshin. Yeah.
I highly respect Pan Studios' decision to remove the character gacha, but let's not kid ourselves. Skins are just not as profitable as trying to capture whales with dupes and signature weapons. The current models of
I feel like he genuinely doesn't believe a company wants to create a good game.
Traditional stamina and gacha systems work so well that I really think there's just no point of taking the risk of going the gacha skin route.
Bro, okay, but like if you have already top tier gachas, why compete with them? Like how many gachas are coming out and then dying within a month? I bet you DNA will not die within a month. No shot it does.
For a lot of developers. No, I don't think Duet Night Abyss will kill gacha games or reform
It's not competing with gacha
them to a great extent. The impact of the decision to remove stamina and character gacha will be fairly minimal in the grand scheme of things. The monotonous gameplay is something that's a bit more subjective, though I feel this is a much harder problem to tackle than performance or game economy issues. This is my main concern when playing the game, and for me, it leaves a lot to be desired. If you ask me how
I think you need a gacha game, mate.
In the long run, I think it will do just fine. Maybe not to the extent of the other giants in the industry, but for a new studio, I would say
I wish he gave me the giant, because I bet you the giant he's talking about ain't Warframe. Or what was it? The First Ascendant or whatever it is, the other one?
Pretty solid overall. I think the music, the story,
it's been almost 3 weeks since release. Yeah, it has, yeah.
For a studio's first real attempt at a large title. I think the innovations to go the gacha-less route and removing the stamina system are fine. They're not what I consider to be the ideal solutions to the problem they're meant to be addressing, but it's different enough that people will find interest in it. It just depends how this will all pan out in the long term. The monetization is mainly cosmetics-based, and they're going to get a little stingy on that. My biggest gripe right now is the lack of interactivity in the gameplay, and this will be a much bigger issue to handle than the other.
Okay. There is problem with interactivity right now. That problem is that a lot of people coming from like games like gacha and don't know how to work as a team. In my latest video, I'm literally I am abusing the fact that no one is playing as a team with Truffle and literally letting them do their thing by defending the excavations whilst I'm going and just getting the next one. Okay? Like if people the people don't remain playing that game, eventually will learn how each person could have a role with no communication. Okay? And then it will be so much quicker and easier. So much quicker and easier. Right now, the only reason there's no like mesh is because people are just running around having fun. After a couple of thousand hours, after a couple of hundred hours, people are gonna realize they can do stuff quicker, and they'll know their own roles, and stuff will be faster.
And even though it might not be for me,
the point is to be more efficient.
An addictive grind for the right players, and this is a game I overall would have no problems recommending to others to try. This is gonna be one of those games I'll check back in a year to see how well it's doing.
I hope you don't.
DNA was removing the gacha. I thought this might have.
I hope you don't come back.
Point in the genre, and when other studios see the success,
come back and watch it still be good.
They'd follow suit. Now though, I look at the game and think, yeah, I guess that's also another way to monetize the game. Sure, why not? Games will always ask for a lot of your time or money, and I can see that DNA just happened to choose the former.
That's
Thank
fine.
you for tuning into this
I think that's fine.
Review of Duet Night Abyss. Let me know what you think of the game.
His final conclusion is not wrong. The games will either take a lot of your time or money, and sometimes people would prefer to spend the money, sometimes people would prefer to spend the time. That's completely fine. But like most people, I bet you just from that sponsor with Red Magic, he has made more money than probably most of us combined in a single month salary. Okay, he's probably making like close to 6-digit numbers within like 1 to 2 months. Like, I looked for this video just to dislike it. Bro, look at the ratio, man. God damn. What are the comments saying? Hold on, let me see. Let me zoom in and let me read this. So, gacha games have done reversible damage. Blindly watching for a good 7 minutes. Check the comments and say I wasn't alone. Yeah, okay. Gacha has changed my guy's brain chemistry in the worst way possible. Yeah, bro, it's not gacha. So farming for dupes in 2 hours is bad, but pay $1,000 for it to farm. For hours is good. What the fuck is this review? Like, here's my problem. Like, most people that buy take Genshin Wells, for example. Most Wells, I don't know if Riz is gonna agree or not. Oh, Riz won't, because actually Riz seems to play most of his like Wells. But like, look at Marcel. Marcel's gonna get a C6R5, play it within a week, and dump it. And occasionally he'll go back to some C6R5. But like, bro, just does, you know, like, people, what just use your characters. And there's no satisfaction. That's my problem. Whaling doesn't give you any satisfaction, in my opinion. I'm too poor to throw away a C6. Okay, buddy. Are you not like $700 deep in DNA? Shut up. So just because the relics aren't random, you want to take them out entirely? My god, go back to Hoyo. Is that what he said? No, I think this guy misunderstood. But I mean, if that was his point, that's dumb. Because I'm pretty sure, actually, I remember Sola being like, I remember when I first looked at DNA, Sola was like, oh my god, I don't want to farm for these wedges, another like artifact stuff. They're not random. They're guaranteed. Like, it's random to get the wedge, but I have every single wedge except some of the golden ones, because then you have to grind more. But like, one day, and you can farm like 2 days max, and you can farm all the wedges, like, you know, not gold, but anything under. It's time to let you go. Gacha game critic dabbling into critiquing non-gacha and gets confused. Do you know what? Actually, exactly what's happened. Exactly what. Hey, yo, bro somehow decided to play this game and throw a review, and bro got confused. Like, bro actually got confused of what he's saying. Bro got confused in his own interview. He sounds like he gets cons so he can farm less in the game. Yeah. So what I understand from this video, the main issue of this game is being Warframe. Yeah, literally, bro. Like, why can't I have game like this? Hey, DNA, hey. Oh no. Yeah, bro described the same gacha system they have. I actually don't understand. It's not a feature. It's a feature, not a bug. 100%. 100%. Like, so this guy's getting his ass handed on a silver platter on the comments. Peak comedy for this collab. Yeah, I mean, bro, this guy deserves it, honestly. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Cool. Nice review, buddy. Nice.